On many Japanese toilets, you wash your hands up here. This allows you to reuse the same water for the toilet bowl itself, and apparently this allows the country to save millions of liters of water every year. This is actually pretty smart because, like, that water in the bowl itself is never going to be touched by your body, or I really hope it's not. So yeah, that water is easily reusable. I mean, there's no reason. Yeah, that's a pretty genius idea. Plus, I use the toilet a little bit differently, so to have something right in front of me. A city in Lithuania shows you a portal to view another city all the way in Poland. You can literally see live what they're doing over there, stare at other people, or maybe plot how you're gonna bring back the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. This sounds like the beginning of some bad Netflix movie though. Either like somebody falls in love looking through the portal, or they witness a horrible, gruesome crime in the background. This man was hospitalized after being swallowed and spit out by a humpback whale. I have now developed a new fear of humpback whales. Thank you for that. I always thought that humpback whales can't eat you. Like, I didn't know it was actually possible. I know they won't eat you, so they're just not eating us by choice, is what you're telling me. I know that things are massive, but I didn't think that we could physically fit inside their mouths. Luckily, their teeth are like kind of carpety, right? Like string. Tom Brown is a retired engineer that has saved over 1,200 different types of apples from extinction in the past 25 years. I didn't even know there were 1,200 different types of apples. I thought there was like 2 different types of apples. Red and green. But they're all labeled and everything. Red wine, Virginia beauty. And look, he even built them a little house so they can have their little apple family in there. This NYPD officer comes face to face with Ming, a 350-pound tiger secretly living in this apartment in Harlem back in 2003. Just chilling. I mean, I don't understand if he's paying his rent, then why are you bothering him? Let him live his life. He probably helps with the rodent problem in the building. How exactly do you go about getting this thing out? That's the next question, though. In 2012, French beekeepers couldn't figure out what was going on with this anomaly here, this discoloration in the honeycomb. Are they making, like, gems now or something? Until they realized the bees were traveling to a local M&M factory and bringing what they found all the way back. We just came up with M&M's next product line. M&M's and honey sounds good together. That probably works. Draining glyphosate in a container looks like a glitch in the Matrix. Is it due to the camera's shutter speed? Is that why that looks so weird? Because did you notice it, like, it did look a little bit weird when he just kind of moved. Yeah, it looks like a shutter speed thing. There's literally no motion blur. This is probably just an optical illusion here, what I'm guessing. That, or I'm just afraid to take the red pill, so I took the blue. This American POW was nicknamed the Incredibly Stupid One by his Vietnamese captors. Upon returning to the US, he provided the names of over 200 prisoners of war, which he had memorized to the tune of Old MacDonald Had a Farm. I swear, that tune can help you memorize anything. I think I used to know all the presidents of the US to that same melody. Obviously, I completely lost that information, though. This cow escaped a Polish farm and was found months later living alongside wild bison. To be honest, he kind of fits right in. These is homies now. You better not roll up on him like that. You're gonna lose a limb or something. In Thailand, they ditched plastic packaging for banana leaves, which is actually pretty genius. I mean, I don't really know exactly what you could do with banana leaves, but I'm assuming this is gonna be a lot better. Is this more expensive though? I wonder if that increases the price, probably. How stadium seats are restored. So you just basically light them on fire. They got to get lit first to act wild and new. What is that? Is it some sort of... I don't think that's just straight up fire. That might be some sort of chemical thing, balance thing. I don't know. I feel like people do not fully understand how much life changed for our species between 1900 and 2000. I still struggle to comprehend these events are 66 years apart. We were just trying to create the first plane in the 1900s. There was a New York Times article that said that we weren't going to be able to do it for millions of years. And then a few decades later, we land on the freaking moon. And now look at us. We got YouTubers fighting some of the greatest boxers of all time and standing all rounds with them. Clearly, our species will have no limit one day. Someone phrased this as even monkeys know to peel a banana, and I don't really like the way that was written. What do you mean, even monkeys? This is the superior species right here. Life would be better if we just all took their lead instead. Monkey. Perfect photo of this man and his camel in an eclipse. This is pretty amazing. Although, I would love to know exactly how much of this is somewhat shopped. I mean, you know some work was done. I'm just saying. There's no way this is straight from the camera. It's sad that that's now what we've come to, is I'm like, cool, but I don't believe you. Like, was the moon shifted at all? I mean, I don't know. Footage of the no-no symbol blown up in Nuremberg by the US Army circa 1945. How is this not colorized yet? Someone needs to go back. Some technician needs to figure that out. This is pretty iconic footage. In France, a 15-year-old stallion comes to comfort terminally ill patients in this hospital, but it also chooses which patients it wants to see by, like, kicking the door or something like that. I don't know about kicking the door in, but, like, you know, probably softly. I don't know why. Every time I've come across a horse, I'm usually, like, pretty freaked out. They're just so massive. Like, I'm sure this one is nice, but I'm a little freaked out. Just this small sliver of cloth. Is that really gonna save me here if this thing wants to take me out? In Georgia, this stray dog comes every day to help kindergartners cross the road. This sounds not real at all, but like the dog will bark also at passing cars. I believe this is probably real, but I am skeptical. Something seems fishy. How stray is this dog really? Maybe it was stray. Damn, okay, someone gotta protect it though. George Lucas before CGI in 1984. And just look at all these creations. I love that they were actually physically made back in the day. This is the face of a man that is confident that he definitely did not go too far in a few places. When Franklin Roosevelt started a foundation to fight polio, comedian Eddie Cantor came up with the March of the Dimes. Asking people to mail a dime to the White House, they were soon overwhelmed with over 2 million dimes! Literally truckloads, mostly from children. These dimes went directly to research that resulted in the polio vaccine. This is why Roosevelt is on the dime. No way. How have I gone this long without knowing that? This cat with a bicolored face, isn't it tricolored? Because there's some white in there, is the father to these two cats with separate, like, fur, but also the same. Are they twins? They must be twins or something. How does that even work? None of them got his cool blue eyes, though. That sucks. Wish I had cool blue eyes. My shit is green. Make me look like a damn leprechaun. This seal is illuminated perfectly on Memorial Day every year in Arizona. Obviously the sun is moving, so it's only for about a minute, but visually this looks kind of crazy. It looks like it's not even real, like they're projecting it onto the ground, just by the way the shadows are lined up and everything. How to chop wood without messing around. Kinda terrified because I do see the live leak watermark in the corner. Oh man, I'm about to witness something that I'm never gonna be able to forget. Oh, what exactly does the chain do? Oh, the chain keeps it all in place. Yeah, that is not easy. Anyone else see this and suddenly craving pizza? This is a nuclear explosion 1 millisecond after detonating. It's kind of hard to tell exactly, like where the photo was taken. How did they even get access to the photo? Wouldn't the camera have just like disintegrated? Or whoever had to touch the camera clearly got some sort of radiation poisoning. I wonder how also they figured out this is exactly 1 millisecond. A lot of questions that have to be asked. I don't know what type of weapon this is, but it looks like it clearly takes a lifetime to master. What is that? That's just like a blade with a string on it. Seems simple enough, but also dangerous. How is this man even still alive? See, back in the 90s when yo-yoing was popular, there could have been a use for it. Surprised all those people didn't like revolt when we said it was not cool to play with yo-yos. It could have completely destroyed society if they just saw what this man could do. After the fall of the Soviet Union, a Ukrainian city wanted to get rid of all the communist statues, so they turned this one into Darth Vader. That actually looks really good, almost too perfect. It's almost like Lenin based his whole vibe off Darth Vader. Imagine that, even though he was like 50 years prior. This is known as the perfect ruler, or a ruler for corners. How exactly does this thing work mechanically? Wow. Oh, that is too amazing. And then that's just gonna fit like a glove. Wow, like a glove. Al Capone is the reason we have expiration dates on milk bottles. After his niece became extremely ill from bad milk, the powerful Chicago gangster lobbied aggressively for expiration dates. I feel like this is just one of those stats that school just doesn't really want to teach you about. Seems pretty important. Seems like it's like one of those things you would learn on day one, teaching a bunch of kindergartners. He made milk expiration dates and then slaughtered a bunch of people. Here we go, how tequila is made. I don't know what that is, but I will be putting it on my shopping cart list. So how long was that? Is that a giant pine cone? How much time passed for it to like ferment? Okay, so you crush it up, then smash it up. That does not look sanitary at all. Oh, this is the fermenting process, I think, once you put them in that wood. The wood has a lot to do with it, right? Are we sure this isn't... How does it come so clear now? I'm gonna need some proof. I would like to test, just, you know, myself for science purposes. This is a literal Mayan ruin. If this isn't proof that they knew about computer mouses one day and future technology, then I don't know what is. Either that or they are pointing who helped them create this ruins. Clearly some species from the sky. This is a 90-year-old turtle, and clearly he is about to evolve as long as no one presses B during the evolution animation. He's just gonna become like a plant of the ocean, I think, soon. What type of moves do you think he knows in battle? At least leaf cut and water gun, don't you think? This is the tallest statue in all of Africa. This is in Senegal, and I am so upset that I've never seen this before. Yeah, this looks like the set of a movie, to be honest. This is amazing. I'm mad that I'm now just discovering it. This is an ultra-wide curved monitor by Alienware in 2008. So they had this idea for a while now. It just took a little bit to master and to popularize. Oh, look at that big old thick back piece it's still got. This thing probably weighs a ton. I just got my first like big curved monitor last year. This took a while to catch on. A spider that just emerged from the keyboard itself is going to take care of an annoying fly. Oh, you can just look at those creep skills. Clearly it has sneak all the way leveled up. It's sneak 100. Boom, look at that jump. And this fly looks like 3 times the size of this spider. This is why I do keep spiders around. Just, I'd rather there be spiders than like flying things. This tree miraculously grew within the stop sign itself. I don't know, this also seems like it could have been a prank. Somebody, how did it just happen perfectly like that? Whoa, wait, maybe it was collecting a lot of moisture over the years. I don't know. I was trying to explain it, but I shouldn't. I'm gonna sound dumb. One man and a rake. That's all this takes. It also can't be very windy, can it? I mean, just a little bit of wind could completely ruin this creation. Or maybe this is like with water. I'm sure, I don't know. Sand. This does not look real. This looks like, well, that people are claiming it looks like a video game. This looks like a miniature. I don't know if I believe this. Maybe it's real. Let's look at like a movie set, a really small miniature. I don't even know. Imagine walking through a museum and finding a 100-year-old painting of yourself from another life. Wow, that is creepy. But should it be surprising? I mean, you know, there's been a lot of humans. There's probably somebody from the past that looks really closely like you. Or maybe it was you from the past, you just don't remember it. Swedish millionaire Johan purchased 400,000 acres of the Amazon rainforest from a logging company for $14 million for the sole purpose of its preservation. It's a pretty boss move. But maybe he can turn it into like a tourist hotspot when like the rest of the Amazon gets cut down. It's like the only thing left. That's sad. I shouldn't say that. This was a real stunt performed by Buster Keaton in 1926. Man, you gotta love how we did it back in the day. No regulation to it. This man messes up. Well, oof, we gotta get another actor here. Wish we brought that stuff back. I don't know if this was all one take, but if it was, this man is basically a wizard. One of the first cat photos ever taken. This is from 880s, somewhere in there. And actually, the quality looks pretty good. Was this digitally restored? This looks like it was a cat that was living today. I love how cats haven't changed much. Have you seen dogs from 100 years ago? They actually looked like functioning creatures. Now they're so weird looking because of inbreeding. That's actually the excuse I use too, though. And thank you to the patrons of June. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. I'm 'bout a nut. AryanAfterHours. Sussy Imposter does a little trolling. Zeffi. Poppy Drew Woo. Stormtrooper 501. Patrick C. Manny 74. LuxembourgLover. Aaron F. Anthony G. Call of Tortoise. Dalton D. Elijah Senpai. EpiNick. Full Send. Kaylee K. And M203 BrushEm. Thank you.